beautiful day. It is November 10th, 2020. It is currently 11:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want to start out by giving thanks and giving a word from Psalms 106, 3 and 4. Blessed are they who constantly do what is right. Remember me, O Lord, when you show favor to your people. All right, so not sure if you can, hear what's going on in the background or not. I guess I'll find out in the editing process. But there is some construction work going on outside, and I didn't want to put this recording off any longer, so we're just going to have to thug it out and get through it. But I also have a Mayat meditation playing in the background that is for harmony for the soul. So we're going to balance it all out here today. If you would like to access that meditation, please feel free to use the link within the bio section of my profile, and you'll be able to go to the OG Academy. That is where we're creating total life balance, with sacred success. If you want to learn more about, the content that is shared and a little bit more about me, you can definitely find that out there. We have a lot that we're looking to offer to help our community, to help us all live well, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and financially. That is important, and I believe that 2020 has shown us that more than ever. So, with that being said, I don't want to make my intro too long here. I got some water, I have a cup of coffee, a mug of coffee, some almond milk. I do have sugar in there because I don't have any honey. I prefer honey, but we gotta do the best that we can with what we have to work with sometimes, right? So I didn't use a lot of sugar, but yeah, I would like to get back to using milk, almond milk, and honey. I wanted to go into, first I want to revisit where we left off yesterday. I started reading this book yesterday again, and today I was inspired to go back and reread the same section, and I highlighted, this paragraph that I'm going to read. But I want to go back to what we talked about yesterday, which was stress is the inevitable byproduct of being out of alignment with your values. So that was like a summary that I pretty much wrote to, summarize what I had read thus far. And we talked about stress, can do so many things as far as keeping us stuck mentally, emotionally, even physically. It can keep us in a place of fear. And with all of that, over time, can cause illness. When we talk about any illness, it seems like everything always goes back to stress being a factor, or being pretty much addressed as a factor to worsen conditions. Whenever someone is seeing any type of flare-ups or anything of the sort, that the way this ground is shaking is really unnerving. The ground is like, I could feel the ground shaking in the house, and all of that for a sidewalk up the street. Very interesting, especially with all the plumbing issues that have already been going on here within the last month. But okay, I'm gonna focus here. All right, so That distracted me. I'm going to go ahead and start reading. For many people, the most important games are their major dependencies. We find someone or something that gives us a great deal of pleasure or seeming security in an unstable world, and we immediately set up a game in which it is extremely important not to lose. The rules are simple. As long as we seem to be in control of whomever or whatever it is that gives us comfort, we are winning. Whenever we are threatened with the loss of control, we are losing. This is called dependency and has an enormous amount of anxiety attached to it. What we invariably forget is that the anxiety is unnecessary. It couldn't exist without the structure of the win-lose game. And the game is something we invent, we are responsible for, something which has such force and power in our lives only because we are suggesting to ourselves all day with the persistence of a TV commercial how important it is. Were these suggestions to seize the game would collapse, and along with it, our anxiety. Yeah, I actually, along with highlighting, I read that a couple times, and I'm sure I'm going to go back and revisit it a couple times, being that we're at this stage which requires forward movement. And with this forward movement, it's evident that a lot of restoration needs to happen on so many different levels. One thing that I've observed, via the media news, as well as social media, and just, the collective conscious, the mindset and the attention, the things that people are giving attention to, supposedly, from what we're seeing via these apps. I got distracted because I need to turn my notifications off because I don't like those type of distractions. It breaks up my connection. But what was I saying? The collective conscious, observing these things. One thing that I noticed a common theme of was mental health challenges. I don't like to, throw out different names because, I'm not certified, to do that. But I am a person who pays attention to patterns and behaviors associated with certain patterns to get certain outcomes, And when I'm seeing a common theme, just connecting the dots, common sense, if we have that. So with that being said, healing with mind power. We're going to talk about restoration. Healing is a big part of restoration, to restore anything, whether it is a person, a people, a home, a neighborhood, a community, a school, a system, and another system. In order for restoration to occur, healing has to happen. So we have to do a collective mental healing for us to be able to move forward responsibly and to be able to achieve the desired outcomes that are going to be suitable for us collectively. Because as much as we've been conditioned to believe we are separate, we are in this earth plane, this existence together as one. So if this planet goes, guess what? We all go. How do you like those apples? All right, so with that being said, we're going to go into the Soul's Journey lesson from James Van Praagh. Today, I am going to read from the book. We're going to get two cards. The first card is going to tell us about masculine energy, the masculine energy that resides within each of us, as human beings, and the feminine energy that, resides within each of us as individual human beings. If you want to have a better understanding of masculine and feminine energy and what characteristics or qualities are associated with each, I encourage you to check out the OG Academy. Consider joining the OG Academy if it, resonates. I'm one of those people that I'm not trying to sell anything to anybody. I just have things that I have available that I want to offer people of value. And if you see fit to, invest in it for yourself, then hey, invest in it for yourself. I appreciate you because you appreciate yourself. All right. Masculine energy yesterday was self-esteem. Yesterday, the feminine energy was focused on success. I pretty much just gave my perspective. I didn't read from the book, but today we are going back to the book. And if I have anything that comes to me to add on, from experience, then I'll do so. But yeah, we're talking about stress, and the Soul's Journey lesson is going to give us a focus for this present time. Not a focus or what we should have been focused on last month, last week, last year. Not what we should be focused on next week, next month, next year, but what we should be focused on at this present time to support us in this current state that we are in, individually as well as collectively in our communities and within our nation, Masculine energy and feminine energy. What are our soul's journey lessons for this present time? Yesterday we had synchronicity as well, as far as yellow, and I said our focus was on the solar plexus chakra. So today we have another synchronicity where we have purple, and on the bottom of the deck is love. So love is our overall energy, and our affirmation for love is I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. So the focus for our masculine energy is perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. All right, masculine energy. That's a good place to be, persevering. 2020 has most definitely shown us, who our persevering people are. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. As a soul, you are on a mission in this physical dimension. You are the only one who knows the correct path to take. Your intuition, your connection to spirit is your compass. You have the power to stay the course, and you are stronger and more determined than you might first think. In order to experience many successes in life, you must mature and realize the strength within yourself and the quality of inner courage. Life doesn't just happen. We must make it happen. It is natural for us in this human school to shy away from what we believe to be difficult because we concern ourselves with how others will perceive us. We are afraid of failure, ridicule, or coming up short. Now's the time to make the proper changes and take risks and do things you never thought you could do before. Your soul must learn to become aware of its inner strength. Live the joyfulness your soul yearns for and engage in activities you have always wanted to try but were afraid you'd fail at. Your soul would not yearn for something that you couldn't accomplish. You have the strength and fortitude to be capable of greatness. Wow. So I don't know if you could hear it in my voice, the like up and downness of it, because I was really feeling it as I was reading it, being that prior to me, um, you know, sitting down to, have my coffee and do this energy reading, I just had a conversation with a friend in which I literally said what this just said. I'd use the same exact words, and it's just interesting. That's all. That was interesting because we were talking about energy and getting. I was trying to give him a better understanding of my perspective of what energy is. It is our attention, the things that we give our attention. Where energy goes, energy flows. The things that we pay attention to, we create more of, we manifest more of. So persevering, if you have a persevering attitude, demeanor, spirit about you, where okay, there's nothing that I can't overcome. There's nothing that I can't get through. Things may be challenging and rocky and questionable right here, right now, but this ain't nothing that I've ever seen before. You know what I mean? Same thing. It just looks different. The energy is the same. The underlying tone of the experience is the same. You know what I mean? Until you evolve and then things start changing up, and then you learn how to, stay grounded on new levels. That's another conversation. I ain't trying to go too deep. But worry is what the feminine energy is currently dealing with, managing, working through. And the affirmation for worry is, I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Feminine energy. Worry is a wasted emotion. It does nothing other than give you the illusion of control. When you expend too much energy worrying, it limits you and has an adverse effect on the natural energy of the soul. Worrying destroys the hope, faith, and excitement that are wonderful elements of this schoolroom called Earth. Remember that you are what you think, and you have the power to create positive thoughts, which beget positive outcomes. Worry is a negative emotion and sets you up for a negative result. What unnecessary worries are you carrying around with you now? Examine them objectively in the light of love. Help your soul by releasing them and be fully connected to the current moment, which is where your power resides. This is why I love energy, okay? Because this is, I love the continuation. So, as I stated yesterday in yesterday's reading, the feminine energy had success come out. And with success, we know that, the core, the foundation of success is love. So for love to be the overall energy today, and, we're committing to the practice of seeing the good in all things, persevering tells me that, things have been real, depending on who you are and your situation, your particular experiences, there's levels to all of this. I always say that. So, it can be, but you didn't give up. You kept getting up. You keep getting up, keep doing the best that you can with what you have to work with. But with that, we also have to get to a place of, releasing worry, because worry, as I just read, it's counterproductive. Where energy goes, energy flows. Our pillow will be back available on marissablack.com soon for purchase. That reminder, what you focus on, you're going to get more of. You want, happy, healthy experiences, relationships, opportunities that are in alignment with who you are. That is what you have to be. That is what you have to become in order to attract that. So worry is just a sign to the feminine energy that, you're not trusting, you're not in alignment with love, you're disconnected from love. And in many cases, what I'm seeing and hearing is, as people, we have all had experiences that have caused us hurt or disappointment in life. And a lot of people are managing that in a lot of different unfortunate ways. There's also been a great deal of conditioning that has been taking place, beyond our lifetimes. And that conditioning is so out of alignment with love. Instead, it's in alignment with fear. And what does fear produce? Worry. So this cycles that have continued for far too long are, now, as we've been getting the message from around the world, from our, global team, that tables are turning, harmony and balance are being restored to Mother Earth. Because without Mother Earth, without our planet, the money, the real estate, the bitcoins, the cryptocurrencies, the buildings, none of it matters. NASA. Stress is the inevitable byproduct of being out of alignment with your values. Our source, the creator, the Alpha and the Omega, God, had a day to rest from the stories that have been interpreted in many different languages and religions. But there was also always a day of rest, a day to be still in gratitude. And there are so many of us who are disconnected from our source, God, because we don't take at least that one day, because we're caught up in the rat race of life, of worry and stress. And I got to figure it all out on my own. I'm going to read this paragraph again. For many people, the most important games are their major dependencies. We find someone or something that gives us a great deal of pleasure or seeming security in an unstable world, and we immediately set up a game in which it is extremely important not to lose. The rules are simple. As long as we seem to be in control of whomever or whatever it is that gives us comfort, we are winning. Whenever we are threatened with the loss of control, we are losing. This is called dependency and has an enormous amount of anxiety attached to it. What we invariably forget is that the anxiety is unnecessary. It couldn't exist without the structure of the win-lose game. And the game is something we invent, we are responsible for, something which has such force and power in our lives only because we are suggesting to ourselves all day with the persistence of a TV commercial how important it is. Were these suggestions to cease, the game would collapse, and along with it, our anxiety. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull one more card from our Angels of Abundance Oracle deck, which is going to bring this all home for us today. Why we got this message in healing with mind power of, conditioning, and the conditioning of fear, that produces worry and reasons to have to persevere. And with all this purple, if you are familiar with the chakra system, that is our pineal gland, that is our third eye, called many other names, but the color represented is purple. And, this just makes me feel like third eye wide open, If you don't know, now you know. It's either love or fear, it's that simple. It's either helping or hurting. Words of abundance. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms. And that is what you attract for yourself and others. We're talking about, as far as economics, you got to speak positive on your economics. No, I am not broke. I don't have any money in my account right now and I need something to pay my bills. That is correct. But I'm not broke. I'm not poor, because I know that I am capable and able of working and producing quality and value and receive income in harmony and balance with that. That's how I speak over my situations, as an example. Words of abundance. The angels bring you this card as a teaching tool to increase your flow of abundance. Affirmations are phrases that you can repeat to yourself in order to achieve a desired outcome. In truth, everything you say is an affirmation of your reality. If you affirm that you're having money difficulties, that's what you will receive. The angels urge you to affirm only abundance. For example, you can post a note with a positive affirmation. I am filled with abundance. Every aspect of my life is provided for. This helps bring your true abundant nature into reality and replaces doubt with security and faith. You start to believe that you are abundant through affirming the positive, and very soon your life is abundant. When we believe that we are abundant, it shifts our mindset toward more positivity, and the universe responds in kind. Throughout your day, listen to yourself. If you are using any negative affirmations out of habit, try finding a positive slant on what you are saying. Even if you feel silly, try it anyway. We have heard from people all over the world who have changed little other than this one small aspect of their lives and have experienced much more positive and abundant outcomes. So, in closing, because I want to keep these videos 30 minutes and under, we have our overall energy is love, committing to the practice of seeing the good in all things. We've had reasons to stay strong and to persevere and to, keep going and not give up, as a people who just know a thing or two about perseverance. And that has come from the worry and the stress associated with the fear programming that, many have received and have been living out. So being that we're in a phase of learning to, or remembering what love is, what true success is, and the fact that there's either love or fear, and the things that we do are either helping or hurting ourselves and those that are around us. We'll be able to get out of this low vibration of worry and, chasing, and being able to connect with our divine source and creator who, is there to help us along the way. We just have to have that connection, and you can't have that if you don't trust in it, if you don't believe in it, and that it is actually within you. It's within each of us. But we make the decision to connect or not to connect with it. And that's just love. So as we take the time to love ourselves, to respect our temples, to love our temples, the vehicle that allows us to breathe, eat, experience life, create life, dance, for all of you that like to dance in the streets and all that fun stuff. It's all good. So, love or fear, choose, and choose wisely. Because, when it comes to words of abundance, there's been those who speak love, who practice love as a lifestyle, loving themselves and loving their neighbor and their community and nature, and have contributed to us being able to see more of that. The fruit, we talked about, fruit last week in the OG Academy. The fruit is in your works, not in your words, from our official Grandmaster Jay. But with that being said, we all have a part to play in life. All of our lives have purpose, and we have to get back to remembering what our purpose is and what we're here to do, and remembering who we are and figuring out what we truly value and what is it that will keep us going and doing what it is that we're doing even when things get challenging, because they will get challenging. There's a great deal of changes transpiring every moment and every day that are going to affect us in the future, whatever that looks like. So the best thing that we can do is be grateful for these present moments and be mindful, that we are staying connected to love, the energy of love, speaking words of love. We're not tearing anyone down. We're not listening to, music and gossip and, stuff that's polluting our mind, because what we put in it is going to come out, and ain't nobody got time for that. Not in November 2020, we don't. All right. That is our tea with Miss Black. Today it ain't tea, it's coffee, but it's all good. November 10th, 2020. If you're here still 30 minutes in, I appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe, support in any way that makes sense to you. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and follow us on all the social media platforms, as I'm able to invest more and grow this community. I have notebooks and ideas that this thing can do a lot for a lot of people. So if you want to participate and then support in that journey, please feel free to become an OG or a boardroom member. You choose. We're building regardless. I love you. Till next time.